of documenting the trip properly, and we're taking my 79 away for pretty much its first big trip. Coming to you from where every good holiday starts. We're on the highway, we're on the M1, the road that goes all the way around Australia, but we're actually in Melbourne. But we're taking it from Melbourne down to Traralgon Way, which is in Eastern Vic in the Gippsland area, and then we're going to divert off between Traralgon and Sale and go up into the high country and see if we can find some river crossings, some mountains, all the good stuff you do in the high country. Now, if you know your way around the high country, you know where the area that we're going to, just by the route I said. We're not going to, your top 5, your top 10 campsites, the well-known ones. We're going to try and find some ones that we haven't been before, and some ones that you guys haven't been before and might not have seen before as well. So hopefully we both get to see something new. Now, weather-wise, I have been looking at the report. I don't think we're going to get a breath of wind the whole trip, which is unreal. And for reference, it is Easter time, so if you guys want to watch along, it might give you a good idea of what the weather is if you were to go on a trip to the high country. Now, believe it or not, it actually did snow about a week ago up in Hotham and a few mountains. It dumped a little bit of a dusting, which is bloody early. That was in March, and it was actually pretty thick as well. I don't think we'd get anything like that this time, but you never know up there. But number one, no wind, and we might get a bit of sun, but we're definitely going to get some of those brisk mornings, which I love so much about the high country. And Easter's a really good time. It's not freezing yet, you don't have to rug up fully, but you really get to get a bit of an entry, a bit of a taste for what winter is to come. And hopefully it's a good one, because then we can get up here with the car, take the snowboards, take the skis, even a bit of snow camping once we get, a bit more set up rooftop in the morning, because right now we're just going bare bones, ground dwellers. I'll get back to you guys when we are somewhere interesting. I think the number one goal is we're heading to Licola, so that might be our next stop. We just made it to our first stop out here in Licola. It's actually the only privately owned town in Victoria, which is pretty cool. So we just went across the bridge, which is iconic, and now we're gonna have a little look at the shops, and then we're gonna figure out where our first track is. We're gonna go to the MacAlister River track, which follows it, and hopefully do a few river crossings and see where that takes us, and then we might set up early for a little fire. So we kicked straight out of Licola onto our last paved road before we got deep into the high country. Now, Jamison-Licola Road, as we're travelling on now, an absolutely underrated road I've actually never heard of. Usually coming from the north of the high country, I didn't know scenes like this were possible, but it was a great taste for what was to come for the rest of the trip. So as we weaved our way deeper and deeper into the bush, that misty, rainy morning had slowly started fading away, right until we started heading up higher in elevation, and that mist quickly came back and reminded us of what winter is like in the high country. Following a few missed turn-offs to where we were meant to be going, we finally started making our way towards the MacAlister River track. The results that accompanied these missed turn-offs weren't so bad. We got to experience a few black tracks, McMillan Spur track, and some awesome scenic views before we dropped down right into that cold valley. I took a few wrong turns and the sun is pumping, so I thought I'd come check the solar input, and we're getting 14.5 amps, which is insane, and everything's going good. I've had a few little bumps, stuff's going fine, but everything is staying put, and we are in God's country. Have a look at the views. We're at the start of the MacAlister River track, and straight away river crossing, so it's my first one. I'm actually really excited. It's probably about this deep, but we're going to film all the river crossings and let's do like a little compilation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many there is. I actually don't know how many there is, but I'm pretty sweaty from that drive, so I'm going to get changed and then we'll get into it. And Soph's going to put on some water appropriate gear because the fit ain't fitting for the this type of environment. Go a nut, Soph. And here we go, the 79's first river crossing. I was so keen. I didn't even know what to expect, to be honest, after seeing so many videos. It was awesome to finally get the tyres wet and just drive through a creek. It was unreal. Now, I wouldn't be going anywhere if you think the MacAlister River Track is just another high country track. You've got one thing wrong. We've got 8 river crossings coming right up, all within about an hour of driving with each other. Constantly weaving across the MacAlister was honestly one of the funnest things I've done in this car so far. So stay tuned, and it's going to take us all the way to our first camp. Now for a bit of tips and a bit of track profiling for you guys. The creeks were not very soft bedded, they had a nice hard bed, a very pebbly bed, so very rocky if you didn't take it slow. As you can see, Soph making her way across the river very carefully because yeah, they were pretty slippery. They weren't too deep, which was good, not much flow at all, which kept it nice and safe for me. But yeah, as you can see here from the drone shots, super rocky, and we just took it really slow. Our last 2 river crossings for the day, Soph's feet have grown into new skin and we're both pretty knackered from multiple crossings. Tracks like these really are the reason we keep coming back to the high country time and time again. I mean, where else in the country can you cross a track 8 times in 30 minutes? It's just nuts. I think I grabbed the junior swag, unfortunately. It is -1 though, so hopefully it does the trick. So small. Swag's all set up. We've got some extra padding for someone who gets sore back and doesn't like swags. Alright, we just set up camp and we just got some wood on the fire, and it's all pretty shocking, to be honest. It's all been shot up by termites. You got the inside of it there. It's absolutely ruined, so we're gonna go for a little drive. We're just paying because we already set up. Gonna find some more wood and then cook dinner. I actually rate the campsite a lot. There's a beautiful river just behind those trees there, and it's very secluded, and you also have like, you've got the cliffs and the mountains pretty much all around the campsite because you're right in the valley, so we better get some dinner going. What are we cooking, Soph?
Chicken city sandwiches with egg.
We got stitched up, didn't we?
We did get stitched up. We got them from a butcher in Traralgon. That was the only one open.
Because Good Friday.
Because I forgot to order the food, and I forgot that Good Friday was a public holiday.
Finding no food was a welcome to adult moment, because we probably never had to think about that stuff before. But we'll definitely do it for next time.
I always order the food for us.
No, the Good Friday shops are closed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's difficult stuff right there. And then all they had to support our various meats was 1 loaf of bread at the bakery, so we couldn't get any rice or pasta or potatoes or anything which we had planned in the camp oven, so back to basics, just meat and bread. So it should be good. We'll settle in for the night and enjoy our fire. And then tomorrow we have to finish off this track, and then we're going to start heading east or west towards Jamison. Alright, it's our little project we did last week, or during this week actually. Not much of a thing, but we got a switch here. Makes it handy for at night. And then we got our fridge bolts down as well. And then I'll turn my head torch off. As you can see, it's pitch black, can't see anything. And then we got these bad boys on the back. Waking up on the banks of the MacAlister was nothing short of beautiful. We've got plenty of ground to cover today, and hopefully it all goes to plan, because if not, we're going to miss our family for Easter morning. Good morning, guys, from the MacAlister. Now, I'm chucking the boots on now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to come off pretty quickly with the amount of river crossings I think we're going to have left. But as always, it's pretty cold in high country. The cloud cover was pretty crazy last night. The moon didn't get through or anything really, so it's pretty dry this morning. There's not really any condensation, which is good for us because we don't have an awning or anything. Just the old swag, which, mind you, I think we got a name for it, the pancake swag. I don't know what's wrong with it. We pulled it out of the shed at home, and it like constricts your feet. Like, it feels like a weighted blanket. It's pretty claustrophobic actually. But we do have a fair bit of ground to cover today, so still got to make it to Jamison by tomorrow because we're meeting some family for Easter near Jamison. So that's the plan for today. See how close we can get. I have no idea. I've heard roughly 6 to 8 hours of driving potentially on the tracks, but I'm not sure, and I guess we'll find out. So now we started the 79 up for the morning and got it ready to hit the tracks. And no, that's not me driving. That's Soph doing what she does best and stealing the keys to my ute. Just kidding, she hates driving it. But what's not a lie is that she's super keen to hit her first river crossing, so let's see how that goes. There she goes. Rightio, Soph's first river crossing as well. I think we're both going to get a chance to tack on it today. She's keen to have a crack. It's not too bad. I think it's number 5 or 6, so see how she goes. I'm going to go in the car with her though. No no outside point of view for this one, but we'll stay safe. Keen?
Yeah. What do I do?
Nothing, just drive across.
Do I put my...
You don't need to accelerate, nah.
Okay.
Only if you need to get over something. This one's probably the deepest one we've done it.
How do I, will it just keep going?
Yeah, it'll just keep going.
I don't have any feet on
Yeah,
the
that's what low range does. It's cool. It's beautiful. Doing good. The old MacAlister. So it's crossing the MacAlister.
Yay, first river crossing
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
good job.
In a manual that I don't drive.
Yeah. Guys, she's definitely a manual driver for sure. Not licensed though. Cut that. Alright, we just finished the MacAlister River track and we're at a bit of an intersection now. So we've got Butcher Country track which goes up to Lovick's Hut, and there's Dingo Hill, and that we're just going to keep going straight and head north. Blue Plains Spur track which is going to take us all the way up to, there's a little hut at the top, and then we're going to cut across left to Jamison on Mitchell's track, I think is the plan. And so we can still set up relatively early today, but I think Butcher track's a black track and I don't have a winch. or any help. So it's actually Easter, but it's not that busy, so I'm not going to risk it. And it's also probably an extra 2 hours of driving, so straight it is. Came for a little pit stop, decided to stretch legs. We saw a mini hike, cars down there, but we came all the way up to there. So let's see the flowers you found. I don't know if the zoom's getting that, but how beautiful this place. I think we're still on the edge of the state forest and the national park, so we have seen a few doggies around down at the MacAlister River as well, but I just love it. There's no better place to be, I reckon, especially at Easter time. Perfect weather. Finished the Blue Plains spur track and came to an intersection with the Grim Creek track, I reckon that's how you say it. G-R-I-M-M-E, and you can turn right or left. Right, went to a place called Highcone, which is more of like a hiking on the Australian Alps walking track, which I wouldn't mind doing one day. It's like goes across the whole Australian Alps. We decided not to because it's really misty up here, so we're not going to get much of a view, and that's even if there is enough clear land up there. So we're going left, and we're still going to keep heading towards our original destination. Many meters were gained and many mountains were climbed as we made our way up the Blue Plains spur track towards Jamison. Now we were getting hungry, so it was time to stop for a quick feed, and I'm glad we stopped here because it has to be one of the top 5 spots I reckon I've ever stopped for a bite to eat. Now as I made my way out of the driver's seat, I really got to take it all in. And it just goes to show that the high country is not all just about the rivers, but it's about views like this as well. Far out. What a beautiful place.
It's not done
Soap's
yet.
cooking up. Another thing we've seen is an awesome fireplace. This is like got to be a top 10 like fireplace I've ever seen. The view behind it is unreal. And then this whole track since we left the MacAlister, there's just like purple dust everywhere. There's just like this really nice pastely like purple everywhere. Haven't seen it in the other parts like around the north or east or anywhere else. Oh yeah, good views from here for sure.
I guess it just depends on. Guess it just depends on how hungry you are. First snag, always for Josh.
Alright, so I have to split the sausages because they're so damn fat.
I already said that.
Already said that. I'll cut it out. Just had one sausage, now I'm gonna have a second. Unreal. We only have meat and like this bread the whole time. You gotta respect the hustle. Filming when you go away has been a whole different story. Definitely a lot of sacrifice from one of us. On other terms, the 79, its first trip, it's been unreal. Like, to think this was in my shed like 6 months ago, absolutely in pieces. Rust in all parts of where you don't want it to be. To think it's here now and it's honestly driving like better than any car I've ever had. We've thrown the whole kit of stuff at it, but all off marketplace pretty much. So canopy was $100, 12 volt fit up $500. Suspension was really cheap as well. Like It's just been so good, and getting to use it finally has been awesome, especially in a place like this. Let's hit this track. Time for some more track profiling. So we're weaving our way up Sunday Road, and it actually had flattened out a bit here as we made our way. We're only a few k's away from Mount Sunday track, and here we are straight onto Mount Sunday track, and this is probably the hardest track we tackled the whole time. As always, it doesn't look hard at all on the camera, but there was a few wheel lifts and we had to have a few cracks at making our way up. Definitely a good test for the old girl. Now, I had to have a few cracks at this little spot. It was this last steeper section of Mount Sunday track. It's just a little red track, only about a kilometre long. Now, it's probably about my fourth ping at trying to get up. I kept just not getting enough traction. We were rocking about 20 psi, but Soph gave me a good suggestion and said, why don't you go the other way? And you know what? It wasn't the worst idea because we finally made it up. And we got to see what Mount Sunday had to offer for us at the top as we make our way up to the helipad. We just made it to Mount Sunday. We just went past the little things that the surveyor uses. I don't know. There was one on Blue Rag, I remember, the same like metal pole things. And then we're just at a little campsite, which is on the Australian Alps walking track. Now there's a red track that goes down that's actually part of the walking track. And there's a sign that says we don't advise you going down there, which I'm definitely not going to do solo. So we were considering camping here, but we might go for another little bit and see the heart and see if there's another spot there. At the intersection of the Mitchell's track right at the back of Wren's Flat, and we actually saw this eerie pipe running along the grass, so they must be running water for the toilet facilities down at Wren's Flat, which is pretty cool. We headed on to Mitchell's track, and here's another helpful tip. It actually is seasonally closed after King's birthday weekend, which is pretty cool to know it gets snow down here and that we're travelling on one of those notorious tracks the Victorian High Country has to offer. We are a little bit into the Mitchell's track, and we stopped at Mitchell's Flat, and we went past Wren's Flat and it was too busy, so we came here and there's nobody here. It's like different to anywhere else we've been. Like from what we've read, the whole place is being cleared back in the day and sold off for, you know, cattle grazing and all that stuff. And so there's just grass everywhere, and there's a few non-native trees around, and it feels a bit more like a reserve than, like, I guess, somewhere that you would normally stay in the high country. But by no means is it bad. There's heaps of flat grass here, and the sun is just dipping its head over that hill, so it's going to get cold soon. So I'm going to grab some firewood, and Soph's going to start setting up stuff. As everyone knows, I'm trying to become a little bit of a 12-volt guru. So having the solar panel and my 2 batteries on this trip has been pretty interesting for me to see what's going on with them, and just testing out things that people often say you can't do. Like, I don't have a lithium MPPT charger, which people say, you know, not good for the battery, not good for that. But it's been fine, and it's been pumping out at an okay voltage, around like 14 volts, which I know is a bit unders for lithium, but I have been getting like between 10 and 20 amps all throughout the day, and when it's been cloudy, and then once the cloud fully sets in, you're getting around between 2 and 5, which is still so much better than my solar blanket. So in saying that, we've also don't have a DC-DC charger, so my power coming from the car is not filtered through anything, it's just directly into the battery, which is a lower voltage than a DC-DC charger would input. which means it's gonna, you know, work a bit harder, have less amps that the lithium's gonna draw. But it's been going fine as well. We've been getting 20 amps from that, or like 15, which is not ideal. So that leaves the battery. We've been running my fridge all day. We've been charging drone batteries, phone batteries, camera batteries, and we are at 100% now of 200 amps. So we started the trip at around 60%, so we've actually gained 40% while running everything and lights at night, so that's pretty unreal. I mean, everything we're using is pretty low. But yeah, 13.6 volts, which is basically like 95 to 100% on lithium. So that's 200 amps just sitting there ready to go. So that's been pretty cool. And the solar panel on top is a house panel and it looks unreal. Head over to Instagram if you guys want to see that little segment of me installing all that stuff. We just come over to the fire pit. That's already here for us, which is good news. And this is how I like to start a fire, actually, when it comes to starting fires. But I'm by no means a master, so let me know if you have any helpful tips. Usually, I like to start with getting basically the driest, thinnest stuff I can and getting that ready and gathering all that. And then sometimes I'll get something like a bit of fuel or just a little bit or a bit of toilet paper just to start it off. So we put that base on. Today we got a bit of a wet wipe dipped in fuel from the chainsaw, so hopefully that'll give us a bit of extra go because all the grass is pretty wet. There's not much too dry kicking around. Then we've got as much little sticks as we can, and then hopefully once they catch, we're going to run to more medium-sized bits like these sticks here, which we picked up from one of the huts we're at up in the mountain. This stuff's really dry up there and usually catches pretty easy. I think it falls off snow gum trees, so that'll go on next. And then we've got, once it's going, you can pretty much just chuck any wood on as long as it's dry enough and it should keep going, especially in conditions like this. Everything's pretty dry. There's not heaps of wind, so you can see that's caught straight away. And if it does start to die out on you, you just get as thinner and thinner and go thinner and thinner until it starts getting a bit of kick behind it. Like I've got some grass there that I picked up and it's not dry enough, it's not lighting up yet. But these sticks are starting to go now. They were a little bit wet on the outside, they were down near the river. Personally, I don't like to use fire lighters and things like that, which takes a bit of fun out of it. And you know, it's good to be able to start it with what you've got. I mean, I'm using a lighter, but we're back on the road, and no, it's not the morning. It's actually 9 o'clock at night. We just got a call from my parents, believe it or not, who are coming up to a similar area tomorrow to meet us for Easter and a couple of friends and all that. And they just gave us a buzz and they are stuck somewhere. They sent us a location. I don't know if they got stuck or they had a breakdown, but we're gonna go see if we can help them out because yeah, it's getting late and it's freezing. But yeah, we had to pack up our camp, put out a fire just after dinner, and we pretty much had to leave straight away. So we're not going to film too much of it, we're just going to get there as quick as we can, and yeah, hopefully they're alright, and hopefully we don't get to bed too late. But yeah, I'll probably see you guys in the morning, or once we set up wherever we're going to set up tonight. Who knows where it's going to take us. Of course, Easter still has 2 days left of the long weekend, so what do? We went to beautiful Mansfield with the fam and spent the day there. Now Mansfield is an actually awesome place. It's the gateway to the mountains and it's the gateway to water skiing and pretty much all the fun stuff I love to do throughout the year. Always love dropping into Mansfield, so here's some scenes. If you guys haven't been there for a while, definitely get up there. Also just quietly the defect capital of the world, I reckon, so if you've got a Corolla sitting around home, maybe take that instead of your rig. One of my favourite things to do is water skiing, so we got to go do exactly that. I jumped in the back with the fam and headed towards Lake Nilakudi, believe it or not, because Lake Eildon has a bit of a blue-green algae problem at the moment. So we spent Easter doing exactly what you should be doing, and that's hanging out with family and having a blast. Now that is the rugged little high country part of our trip has come to a close. However, the video has not. Stick around if you want to see my beautiful masterpiece in the camp oven, the slow cooked beef with the scallop potatoes on top. Being in Mansfield, we were able to grab my cheeky little spuds that we weren't able to grab from all those Good Friday shop closures. So stick around to see a gun recipe. It'll only take a few minutes, I promise, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, last little segment of the video. We just got the camp oven all done. We've done a bit of scallop potatoes on top of some slow cooked beef. Can't have a look, so it's looking unreal. This is 3 hours of work put into it. I'm just gonna get a spoon to show and check the beef actually. There's a bit of meat, cheapest meat you can get. And it's almost just pulling apart. Look at that. It's like $18 a kilo. A little taste test. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's a bit salty, but I was scared of having lackluster flavour. But cheers for watching our little high country episode. I used to trip. Plenty more trips to come. We'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.